Hi, everyone. My name is Judy Bello. I'm TJ class of 2004. I used to be one of you. I was class president, student body president, Miss Jefferson, and captain of the tennis team. I also baked 30-minute brownies in 20 minutes, fought 2 lions with my bare hands, and made Jay-Z look lazy. I confess, I'm an overachiever.
I'm Judy Bello, and I teach English 10 and 11 here. I've read Moby Dick in 24 hours, named my firstborn after the poet William Butler Yeats, and graded 250 research papers in a single weekend. I eat novels for breakfast. I confess, I'm an overachiever.
Mom and I are here to talk to you today about overachievement
and the principles that guide our lives.
But first, let me take you back a decade. 10 years ago, I graduated TJ, enrolled at Princeton, and decided to pick up the sport of rugby.
Probably a byproduct of roughhousing with her older brothers for the last 18 years. Anyway, rugby. You've seen the bumper sticker, give blood, play rugby. Well, playing the equivalent of football with far less protective gear did not pass my risk-benefit assessment. But it's her life and her choices, she urged me. And she did excel on the rugby pitch, so much that she made the under-19 national team after only a few months of first playing the sport. Overachiever.
Note, Mom worked way too many hours every week and still came up on weekends to see my important games. Overachiever. Anyway, in the fall of my sophomore year, the Princeton women's rugby team was playing in the regional championships. Because of various injuries and scheduling conflicts, we had no subs.
In the first half, Jackie tackled a girl twice her size and prevented her from scoring a try, the rugby equivalent of a touchdown. But then she didn't look so well. But characteristically, she refused to come out.
The thing is, you get hurt all the time in rugby, so it's hard to realize when it's something serious. Besides, winning is winning, and overachievers never quit.
Except when they should, for compelling reasons.
So, I kept playing in the game despite incredible pains in my neck until sometime in the second half, I finally went down in a tackle and I couldn't get back up.
Hours later at the hospital, we learned she had fractured her neck vertebrae between C5 and C6, less than an inch from probable lifetime paralysis.
I literally broke my neck. Even now, when I tell people this story, they cringe. But I gotta tell you, it was one of the best things that ever happened to me.
I do not share that perspective.
So seldom in life does everything stop, and you really get to focus on what's most important.
I was a first-year teacher here then, and everyone urged me to take time off to join Jackie in New Jersey for her surgery. It was so special. Gingerly, we snuggled in her hospital bed, savored ice cream together, and enjoyed rewatching her childhood favorite films, like The Karate Kid.
Karate Kid, you know, overachiever.
Under 21, Jackie was housed in the children's hospital, so I got to get my baby back.
The thing is, it shouldn't take breaking your neck to actually slow down life from the breakneck pace we all live at.
Since that week in the hospital together, Jackie and I have had hundreds of conversations at the dinner table, car rides, and in phone catch-ups, dissecting how we can try to overachieve, but without, well, breaking our necks. So here's our mother-daughter advice. Me from my 60-some years of experience, and Jackie with her 20-some.
First, as a beloved former boss told me, invest in people first, products second, and profits third. For a company, nothing proves more important than human capital. TJ's product, a diploma, is really valuable, but it's priceless here because of incredible teachers like my mom, incredible students like all of you. Invest in good people, and you will get a good product, which will bring you profits.
In your student life here, your profits include grades, yes, but far more important than A's are your real products, originality, creativity, critical thinking, that are shaping you into independent adults.
And more important than both product and profits are the people who help shape you each step of the way. So when you go away to college, don't forget to call Mom.
And remember, your friends and life coaches appreciate thoughtfulness too. Every day affords opportunities to show the people you most love how much you care, even in small, easy ways.
I found both of my past 2 jobs, which I've loved, consulting and startup life, from referrals or recommendations from people in my life. Now, some people call this networking. I call it sustaining relationships. Invest in people first.
Second, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. I once served as the chief lawyer to the U.S. trade rep. One night at the office, as I was hurriedly trying to skedaddle home to my 3 darling children, he invited me to come meet with him, the Attorney General, and the Chief of Staff to the President. I patiently explained to him that I wasn't quite ready to debate the Attorney General. He replied, "Judy, the time is now. Be here in 5 minutes." Sometimes we simply have to stand and deliver. I wasn't ready yet. I could have improved my argument if I'd had more time, but time ran out.
My company calls this "done is better than perfect," a phrase we stole from Facebook. As a student, it doesn't mean you should turn in mediocre work, but it does mean you have to finish. Perfect is the enemy of progress, and sometimes you just gotta go with the best product you can create in the time available.
So, third, because time is finite, choose wisely the ways in which you aspire to overachieve. Generally prefer quality over quantity. For example, who cares how many AP courses you take? To avoid tipping point stress in high school, especially your junior year, select only those APs that will make a long-term benefit for you. And don't spread yourself too thin to appear hyperactive. Pursue depth, in Moby Dick terms, to a little lower level, rather than the broad shallows.
If you can't tell already, Mom's original TED Talk focused on Moby Dick, which, by the way, is a novel that only overachievers would read. In one of my favorite novels, Harry Potter, sorry, Mom, Professor Dumbledore says, "It is our choices, Harry, that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities." I tried to be good at everything in high school. And you know what happened? I barely slept, and one morning I fell asleep at the wheel of a car. I woke up when I hit the sidewalk, and while nobody was there to get hurt, that was lucky. I could have killed someone.
Choices. You've already heard Ariana Huffington joins both of us in urging all of you, choose to sleep more.
Our final piece of advice is that you cannot sustain achievement, much less overachievement, without love.
For example, Jackie and I have both had to take time off of work lately. Why? Because a higher priority intervened. Jackie's grandmother, Jackie number 1, for whom Jackie number 2 is named, is very ill. She supported us lifelong, and she now needs our love and support. So we spent our spring break in Raleigh sharing our days and nighttime sleepovers with her in the hospital.
Mom and I could not sustain achievement, much less overachievement, without this strong foundation of unwavering support. Let's not forget my late night high school meltdowns either, probably over some paper or physics problem set that now seems trivial. Now, Mom doesn't know anything about physics beyond the physics of harpooning whales and Moby Dick. But she would wake up in the middle of the night, mom radar, see that my light was still on, and come reason with me to go to bed and tackle the world's problems tomorrow.
To recap, our advice is,
Number 1, invest in and sustain relationships.
number 2, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good.
Number 3, less is more. You got to make tough choices and triage your priorities in order to sustain achievement.
And number 4, you need to both give and receive love, which functions as our safety net lifelong.
We all need a safety net because even achievers fail, not to mention the sometimes spectacular failures of overachievers.
But, as you've also heard from Stephen, failure is not necessarily the enemy of success.
To the contrary, failures can drive successes. Young people especially need to take risks and experiment to help you better figure out who you are and who you aspire to be. Now, I'm not telling you to replicate my example of falling asleep at the wheel or breaking your neck, but each of my numerous failures has helped shape me into who I am today.
So here's to our and all of your productive failures, achievements, and sometimes overachievements.
Thank you.
Thank you.